had 2 codes today. That's one of the perks of being a med influencer. I am like so exhausted. And I like picked up my badge and I was like, girl, I'm an MD. I'm gonna take you all for a week on the ICU service, and I need to leave in about 15 minutes. I'm talking quietly because my husband is still sleeping. Last week I worked 72 hours. Let's see, I have a new attending this week. Last week I was also alone on the service, and this week I'm supposed to get another resident. The thing about residency is your experience can be really influenced by the people you work with. So whether you have a really great rotation or a bad one can sometimes depend on the people that you spend it with, which includes the attendings and the other residents that you work with. I don't know who I'm going to work with this week, so we'll see how that goes. I was alone all last week, and partly it felt a little bit lonely, but I also really enjoyed working with the nurses. Let's see how this week goes. I give myself about 40 minutes every morning to get ready for work. My getting ready portion only takes about 10 to 15 minutes, but then I run downstairs to make a smoothie and drink my coffee. And I try to take my time drinking my coffee. I don't like to just chug it, and that all takes about 40 minutes before I can leave. So I typically wake up at 4:30. I try to get out of the house by 5:10 to make it to sign out. I live about from door to door, probably 10 minutes from work. I think that's one of the key things in residency if you want to really help with your work-life balance, is to live as close to your residency hospital as possible. Of course, we rotate through multiple sites, so I do live about 30 minutes from the VA, which is going to be my next rotation. But it's really nice to have 6 months out of the year where I am, actually I think it's more than 6 months, where I only live about 10 minutes away from work. I should be able to make it to sign out, which is at 5:30. It's 5:16 right now. And I'll be meeting the new co-resident that I'm working with. We got here about 5:30 this morning and got sign out from the night physician. There isn't any night residents, just like a locums ICU doctor who stays and watches over the patients at night. We got sign out around 5:30, and then our attending gave us each, I got 3 patients, my co-resident got 2 patients. We do chart checking, and then the nurses do sign out around 7:30, and we don't really want to be in their way, so we go see our patients around 8. So between like 5:30 and 8 o'clock, we're chart checking on like 2 to 3 patients, which only takes us about maybe an hour. And then we round on our patients, and about 9:30, my attending came into the office and we presented our patients. It was super casual, and we just kind of went through our assessment plan for the day. And then we did multidisciplinary rounds that includes all of pharmacy, case management, nutrition, physical therapy, and we round on each patient with the nurses presenting the patients and all of the overnight events that happen with them. And we just got done with that, and that's when I picked up lunch. It's 4:30. My attending mercifully let me off an hour early. I am like so exhausted. I think this happens to me every time like I have either a day off or I'm just starting a new rotation and I'm adjusting my sleep schedule. I had to get up at 4:30 this morning, but the day before I had gotten up like at 7:30, and adjusting my schedule 3 hours earlier really just throws me off, and I feel so groggy and so sleepy. I feel so out of it and so tired, and I've kind of been in this funk this entire day. And it always happens at the beginning of these rotations where I have an earlier sleep schedule. So Whew. Part of me just feels like my brain is working at like 80% capacity or even like 70% capacity. And it's hard to focus and like, anyway, I don't even know where I'm trying to go with this. My train of thought is, I feel like I want to go home and just take a nap, but also like part of me just feels like I need to get outside and move, because a lot of what we do as residents is sit in our team room and chart or just wait until nurses come to us for issues. Not be, or it should be tracking.
What?
I like that I can see myself on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I ended up falling asleep at the top of the stairs with Aria. Well, I don't know if I actually fell asleep, but I laid down and closed my eyes because I was so exhausted. And now we're gonna go for a little walk so I can get outside and get some fresh air. And Aria will spend most of the time sniffing, because that's what she's really good at.
Also
Good morning. It's 5:15 on a Tuesday. I am driving to work. It's so dark. I feel a little bit better and more well-rested today since it's the second day of my rotation. Like I said yesterday, the first day is always such a struggle, but the second day and the subsequent days just feel a little better because my sleep schedule is a little more in tune. But what I find myself doing every morning is getting super excited to cross off another day in whatever rotation that I'm on. Typically, these ward rotations where I'm waking up super early and going in 6 days a week, I find myself counting down the days until it's over and getting super excited and wishing away each day, which really reminds me that I need to have more gratitude and really embrace my training and be more present and be less future oriented. Because what ends up happening is I get super excited that I'm 1 week down. I have 2 weeks to go in my ICU rotation. I get super excited about that. Each day that I get up, I get excited about crossing off another day in my life. And I start to feel that I'm wishing away my life. And maybe you all can relate to this, being, in the thick of either pre-med or in whatever journey that you're on, that you start feeling that you're wishing your life away and wishing that you're in the next stage of your training. For me, the next stage of my training will be starting my radiology residency in July. And part of me starts to get really excited about starting that, and I start to wish away my intern year. And that's a whole year of my life. Like, I can't be sitting here wishing away a whole year of my life. And really, I just need to be more grateful and in the moment and really embrace my training, embrace my learning. I'm doing my best. It's hard sometimes getting here so early and not really feeling like I am helpful or not feeling like I belong in the ICU. So then I just start to feel like I'm not doing much and I'm not productive. It's a hard feeling and a hard place to be sometimes, being an intern. And sometimes I just need to accept that it's hard and try to be present as much as possible. Anyways, sign out is at 5:30 and we'll see how it goes. I am done with my Tuesday shift. It is 4:17 in the afternoon. We had 2 codes today. One actually happened while I was in the patient's room. The nurse had just left the room and I walked in and the patient went into like a very fast heart rate and ended up basically losing their pulse. So we had to do CPR for about 30 seconds. It was pretty intense. Other than that, the second code got canceled. That often happens in the hospital. It's like pseudo codes.
people accidentally like pull out the code. I don't know, it's like some kind of cord that's attached to the wall, and once you pull it, like if housekeeping is working in the room, then they can actually pull it and actually initiates the code blue alarms overhead, which is really insane, but that actually happens a lot. Sometimes if patients faint, they'll call a code and then they'll come to, and if they're awake and alert, then there's really no need for the code team to be there because we're not going to do anything like push critical care medications. Other than that, like I said in my previous, I think I mentioned this yesterday, the ICU is not resident dependent, so it just sometimes makes my role feel ambiguous and that I'm just not really helpful, and the day can really drag on, especially if the attending is really not interested in working with residents. That just makes the day really difficult to get through. I did a long walk today around the hospital. The hospital is one of the largest one-story hospitals in the United States, so the hallways are super long and you can get a lot of steps in if you are walking around the hospital. I would often get a good amount of steps when I was on the internal medicine rotation, but since I'm in the ICU is just its own little, unit, so I don't get a lot of steps in unless I actually make it a point to get around and walk around the hospital. So I've been doing that lately, and I always end up running into patients' families who are trying to navigate the hospital, and there's tons of hallways, and it's a very large one-story hospital, so people always get lost, and I always run into somebody who's lost, and I'm always happy to walk them to wherever they need to go, and I end up having these long conversations with them, talking with them. The other day I ran into an old gentleman who wanted to know where he can go to the... He was at, I think he was in the waiting room waiting for his wife to finish getting surgery, and he was hungry and wanted to go to the cafeteria, which is like clear across the entire campus. So I told him that I'd be happy to walk him, and we ended up walking, and I took him to the Ronald McDonald House or family room in our hospital, which actually gives people free snacks and free coffee and free tea. So I took him there, and he was able to get some free coffee and snacks, and he was super grateful. And him and his wife had been married for like over 50 years, so I asked him what his secret is. And his advice was that as a partnership, if the answer is not yes from both parties, it should be no. So I thought that was really interesting and lovely just to learn on a short walk. It was fun to just meet him. He was super grateful that a doctor was taking their time to help him walk around the hospital. And I think it doesn't take a ton of time out of my day to do that, and I'm happy to. I'm going to head home now. Chris, my husband, is making dinner, I believe, and I'm going to try to either get out on a 3 to 4 mile run or get to the gym and lift. I just haven't decided which one I'm going to do yet. It's been getting a lot hotter in the desert now, and I think it's like close to 90 degrees, so that'd be a really tough run, but I can probably do it when the sun goes down a little bit later.
I just went to the mailbox and got my first brand deal payment. That's one of the perks of being a med influencer, is that you can get paid to post things and work with brands that you already love. It's pretty exciting. And if you guys want to know more about making money as a med influencer, let me know, because I can share more information like that on my channel. But if you guys don't care about that at all, let me know, because then I won't bother you with it. But if you can see, it says $250. Pretty exciting. We were responding to a code, and the code was in the cath lab. And I walked in and I saw a nursing student that I went to school with. And when everything had settled down, I went over to her and I was like, "Hey, it's Lily from nursing school." And then she was like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing here?" Because it's been like 10 years since nursing school.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What are you doing here? Are you an NP? Are you NPing it up?" And I picked up my badge and I was like, "Girl, I'm an MD." And she's like, "Whoa!" And then she saw my ring, and then she's like, "And you're married!" And I was like, "Yeah, that too." Chris, can you tell everyone what you're making?
I'm crusting this tofu with nutritional yeast. There is cauliflower roasting in the oven with olive oil, pepper, and salt.
Wow.
And then there's rice that is waiting for us to eat it.
Should I make a sauce?
That would be good.
I'm the sauce queen. Dinner tonight, tofu, white rice, cauliflower, and my secret sauce. Secret sauce. Good morning. It's Wednesday. It's 4:54 in the morning, and I'm enjoying my coffee. I am so regimented in the morning. I do exactly the same thing every morning, and I try to do it as quickly as possible so I can sit down and enjoy my coffee prior to leaving and going to work. But vlogging has added to my morning routine now. So far I haven't been late because of it, but it's definitely adds a little bit different element to my morning routine. And I have to be quiet because Chris is still sleeping.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. I had a bit of a slower day. I had 2 admissions that I took, and I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm so exhausted. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's hump day. It's Wednesday, so I wear pink on Wednesdays. But I'm just exhausted. I don't even really know what happened today. I just feel tired. We are headed to my sister's house. She doesn't live too far from me, and using her home gym. I'm gonna work on my pistol squats. That's kind of been a project for me. So I do like assisted pistol squats to try to get stronger and get used to the movement of going down on one leg. Part of going over to my sister's house and visiting and doing my gym session there is that I get to see my family, because often my brother and sister will be there together. I'll get to see my niece and nephew, who I am obsessed with. I love them so much. And my niece she's not even 2 years old yet. She's so cute and so smart, and I just love spending time with her. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's kind of like something that I do once a week after work every week. And I just want to kind of do it a lot more often because I'm going to be leaving Arizona to go do my advanced radiology residency in Ohio. So I'll be so far from them for probably 5 years, and that makes me a little sad to think about. So I am just trying to come over and spend as much time with them as I possibly can while I can. All right, let's go work out. All right, I'm over at my sister's house. I'm showing them my asthma. My favorite Mexican candy. Whenever I come over to my sister's, she always has some sweet treats to share with us. I'm showing off my Ozma pocket,
I saw somebody using that online.
which I'm vlogging for the week.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's so cute.
Oh, it like moves.
It moves. It's a little gimbal. Well, I'll have to show you guys.
Should I say something obnoxious for your camera? You have to cut it out.
My siblings like to embarrass me. Look at how cute she is. This has gotten me through so many rotations. I just order a giant pack of it on Amazon and then eat 1 to 2 of them per day, and it's just super. I already had 2 today, so I don't know if I should eat more. Yeah, so I'll save it. I'll save it for tomorrow. Part of me working out at my sister's is sometimes it becomes a little too distracting and I don't get enough of a great workout in because I end up wanting to spend all my time with my siblings and with my niece. See, like he's already back out here. For more candy?
Yeah, more candy.
Oh my god, for roll-ups this time.
Your pre-workout.
Can you tell that me and my siblings are all candy addicts? We love candy. I'm gonna warm up doing some assisted pistol squats. And it's not a workout if you don't track it on your Garmin. I either do a pull day or a push day. All of my exercises on a pull day would be like pulling towards myself. And then all of my exercises on a push day is pushing away
from the core of my body. So I haven't done a pull day in a while. I think I will do that today. We'll work on some lat pull downs and rows.
Stuffed portobello mushrooms with pasta, garlic bread, and broccoli. We had a patient this morning. Upon intubating them, their heart rate went up to the 250s, and they have a history of atrial fibrillation, so they had to get cardioverted, which is totally in my wheelhouse because as a registered nurse in the past, I used to cardiovert patients all the time. My meals are covered by my residency program. I love them.
Go get it.
Very good.
It's Friday. I guess typically on a Friday, someone may be excited that it's the end of their work week, but as a resident, you continue working. When you're on wards in the hospital or inpatient work, it's typically a 6-day work week. So I work tomorrow. I'm hoping I can get off a little bit early because a couple of my co-residents want to grab dinner, which I'm super excited about because I hardly get to see people when I am on this type of rotation where I'm working 6 days a week. It's very difficult to make plans, especially with other co-residents, because we're almost always on a different rotation. Most of the residents in my cohort were not typically assigned to work together because there's only one intern per rotation. So it's really nice to be able to make time to hang out. Today is my last day with my current attending. Tomorrow I get a new attending who happens to actually be my APD, otherwise known as Assistant Program Director. He is an incredible human being, and I do think that he will challenge me more than my current attending. She's super nice, but I don't know that she's used to working with residents and doesn't utilize us in our full capacity. I kind of mentioned this earlier this week where the rotation often depends on who you're working with, including the attending and your co-interns.
I'm so cold. The team room is dark because we get here at 5:30 and I'm just not ready for the bright lights in this room. So it's a total vibe. Here's today's lunch: shrimp creole with white rice and green beans. It's the end of my Friday shift. It is 5:30 in the afternoon, and we had an extremely busy day with very sick patients. Of course, my attendings are way busier than I am, but man, they had a really rough day today. We had almost immediately in the morning a patient go into hemorrhagic shock and spent so much time in that person's room doing a massive transfusion protocol. And it was basically all day. The nurse in that room ended up having to be a one-to-one with that patient
Typically the ratio on the ICU at this hospital is a 2-to-1, but because the nurse literally had to be at the patient's bedside the entire day, they ended up having to update the ratios on the unit for the day. I ended up having multiple other issues with my other patients who was not like oxygenating well and becoming more lethargic. So you just have to work up all of these things all day. So we were very busy, but honestly, it really helps make the day feel like it's going by quicker. I rather have busy day and be doing a ton of tasks than sitting and twiddling my thumbs. So that's what I prefer. And then I ended up helping with an admission like really last minute, which can be really tough because, you know, often we'll be sitting around all day and then get a very last minute admission and then have to stay late because of it. So sometimes that can be frustrating, but it's a good learning opportunity, like they always say. Another really exciting thing is I got another brand deal. I got my first brand deal check earlier this week, which I'm super excited about, but this time I am getting $750 to post a reel and a story. So I want to be super transparent about that kind of stuff. I feel like I don't always hear about very transparent people who are sharing what they're making with brand deals, and I just want to be transparent about it to teach you guys what the potential is in being a med influencer and how you can help pay your way through college. And all you have to do is like share your life, share the information you know, and help people out if they're interested in the same path that you are going through. By just sharing the information that I've learned throughout the years, I've been able to not only connect and create a huge, amazing community of RNs who want to become MDs, but I've also been able to create an info product from it. And the most important thing about creating an info product is making sure you put valuable information in your products and not some bogus AI written ChatGPT bullcrap that I see people selling out there, which is super annoying to me. Mostly, you don't need a course for things. You don't need a course to learn how to match into residency. You don't need to pay for a $1,000 course to learn about how to get into med school. But you can use an info product like an ebook or a guide where you can put very useful information in there and share it with people. I get really upset and annoyed when people are selling like $1,000 courses that just waste the time of pre-meds whose time is precious. Like, your time is precious to be able to, you need to like take your time and spend it doing your courses, your coursework for pre-medicine, not coursework from these bogus like digital products that people are trying to sell to you. So that really annoys me, but I do think that there is value in getting a product like an ebook where it's not that time intensive to get through, but you can put a ton of really valuable information in there for people. Not only do you have an extra income source for yourself, but you're also providing value to your community. And that is the key thing. It's like, don't put bull crap baloney stuff out there for people. Only create a product or an info product that you want to sell only if it will add to other people's lives. Anyways, that is like a soapbox I get on because I get really annoyed when I see these people who are trying to sell these courses where you have to look at modules of them filming themselves just to teach you how to match into residency. And it's just like, you don't need that. You don't, your dean at your medical school is going to teach you everything you need to know on how to match into residency. Like, you don't need a whole ass course from someone and pay $1,000 for it. Okay, wow, I need to calm down about that, but that's just my soapbox. I'm very excited about the brand deal, and like I said, being a med influencer has really changed my life, and it's going to help me pay off my loans, but it's also going to help me share the information I know with people like you. So first of all, I want to share about the RNtoMD journey, but I'm learning that I know also a lot about med influencing and how to create a strong social media following, as well as providing value to a community. So now I want to share that information as well on this platform and on my Instagram. So I think I've decided that I will go forward with that, and I hope that you will all enjoy that information as well. If you have any specific questions about that, please let me know, and I will try to answer them and be as transparent as possible.
and all my subsequent videos. It's 10 after 7 and I decided to get on the indoor cycling bike that I got as a PR item for my med influencing. All I had to do was make a reel for them on Instagram, which I posted yesterday, and now I have this Peloton knockoff that I get to use and stay fit on. I'm probably gonna end my week on the ICU service vlog with this video, and I plan to continue making vlogs. I think it went well this week, and I think I could try to keep it up, especially with my new Osmo Pocket 3, which is this little vlogging camera that I bought recently. So I should have this video posted tomorrow, and I will have another video hopefully up next Saturday. Let me know if you guys have any questions regarding the RN to MD path that I can answer in my next video, and if you have questions about becoming a med influencer as well. See you in the next video.